Welcome to the Jonathan Acuna Business Show. No, really not a business show, but it should be. But I love talking about business. But welcome. Today, I'm going to share with you my number one favorite pro tip. I'm going to show you how to make your business more organized using one tool called ClickUp. Let's get started. So, take a look at my desk and or my screen, and if you're a business owner like or an entrepreneur, or if you're managing a team and you're trying to stay organized and you're using like a notebook to stay organized, or worse, you've got your to-do list somewhere on a white wall, on a whiteboard, somewhere in your office, like just looks like chaos. I'm going to show you how to go from this to this, where everything's organized. Your entire team has access to this one to-do list that's can be accessed by anyone, and you can see your entire goals. You can see calendar. You can see who's working on what. You can see everything in these beautiful calendar views. So let's get started. I'm actually logged into my ClickUp account, and I'm gonna show you some features just to open your awareness to see what's possible with this new tool, because we all know investing in these new tools are expensive, they're clunky, their brochure says they could do everything. So we want to kick the tires. We want to see what we can do with the tools so we know the the what we can do, and importantly, what the limitations are. So what we can't do. So that way we know how to incorporate this into our workflow or into our business or into our life, because you can use this tool to either manage your business or your personal life. Let's take a look at a demo. So on the left-hand side, everything's organized into spaces. You could think of spaces kind of like departments in your business. So here I have two spaces, one for my sales and one for employee onboarding, for example. So let's jump into my sales department to see what they're working on today. So if I click on it and I zoom out, I can now see my entire sales pipeline, from new leads that came in to ones that are currently in the pipeline. Oh, we lost those. To ones that are, oh, here we got two in the proposal, we got two in the demo stage. Oh, look at this, even two more qualified prospects. Beautiful. You see current clients, ones that need attention. We could all use a system that can help us give more service to our clients and help serve them. So which ones need attention? We need to go help them. Which ones are we nurturing? Which ones are we onboarding? We want to make sure they have a good experience when they join our service or when they buy our products, whatever. So if we zoom out, so all of this, imagine you're a business owner and you wake up and you're like, I want to see how my pipeline's doing. 10 seconds. You don't even have to get out of bed. You can see this on a tablet, but I don't want you to get that lazy now. Come on now. So let's jump out. So that's pretty much a great way of how we can see how ClickUp is managing a sales pipeline for a business. But what if we wanted to? We're not a big business, we're a small business. What if we don't have a fancy pipeline? What if, John, I would love to have this, but I don't have a pipeline. My customers email me, or they call, or they fill out random forms that don't go anywhere. How can I centralize this and make this more organized? Don't worry, I got you. Check this out. This list of leads in your pipeline, that's all it is right up here, is just a list. We could view that list in different ways. Hmm. Hydration break. We can view that also as a form. So if we click form, we could turn that list into a form where I say, hey, send me your name and your email. Just name and email. Super simple. We could say right here, please enter your name and email. Super simple. You could call this your new customer or new client form. You could have a form for onboarding new users. You could have a form for all sorts of stuff. So now we could take a look at it. And if I zoom out, I click view. That's pretty fancy, John, but what can I do with that? It gives you a link. That link, if I open a incognito window, we're going undercover, people. No one knows where we are. And I hit out or paste. This is a public form that you could share with anyone externally, and they could enter it. So I'm going to put here, fill it out. And when you fill it out and click submit, Get a nice little thank you message. Ooh, we're so tech automated. Oh my gosh, John, I love tech. It does the work for me. So where'd it go? Did it go into ether? Did it disappear? Did it go to China? Did it come? Where did it disappear to? Don't worry, it's in your pipeline. So under your list, if we look under a new lead, we just got Bruce Wayne. Yo, sales team, get on it. We got to get Bruce Wayne. I want my number one sales time. We want to make sure they have a wonderful experience in our company. I want to make sure that that customer gets all the attention. We didn't do anything. We just set that up. Isn't that amazing? Streamline, automation, organization. I love it. But that's just one example. And that's just for business. So just to give you an idea, let's also see for one example how you could use this to manage your personal life. So I could be a business owner here, and I want to stay organized in both my business and my personal life because that's what it's all about. That's what productivity is, and that full life of balance is balancing both all important areas of your life, making sure they get the tool, the resources, and the visibility so that they can stay at the standard that you want. So for example, let's say I'm doing a home renovation. We all know how complicated a home renovation. I've never done a home renovation. I've had friends, but I'm like, oh my God, this is what I'm going to look forward to when I don't know, I'm not going to get home. But say you're doing a home renovation, you could click on this. You can see, hey, I don't wake up on Saturday morning, or I just got back from vacation. I want to know how the contractors are doing on our home renovation. Let's check it out. So if I zoom out, now we can see, oh yeah, bathroom stages. Yep. Right now they're installing the faucet. I didn't have to call someone, hey, what are you guys working on? What have you guys done? What are you guys working on? What are you guys going to work on next? None of that. All of that is nicely organized in here. So you, as a manager or business owner, can know what your team is doing, what they've completed, and what they're going to do next so that you literally have to micromanage if you want to get shit done. Honestly, if you want to really move the needle on your dream, on your empire, and your goals for your business, you have to micromanage. Like, get your shit done. Like, honestly, like get a process in place. Let's own the process. It's not the people, it's the process. So check this. So then we could find out, how are they doing on the kitchen? Look at this. Oh my God, we got a lot of open tickets still to work on the kitchen. That's cool. But you know what? I don't want to do all that work. We could assign ownership. So installing the new induction range, I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to assign that. Let's say I had someone else on my team. Right now it's just my account, but you can have a list of all your team members here. So I could assign this to someone else and, I can invite. I'm not going to put my email right now, but you would put an email and then you could assign it to them. And that would be in their queue and you could always follow up on it. Be like, hey, John, I gave you that task. Where's it at? And you're like, oh yeah, he did. He assigned it to me. There's no excuses. Oh, all the information's right there. So that's one way that any person, honestly, can use ClickUp to manage any area of project or task in your life. So before I leave, and we leave out of ClickUp, you also get these Kanban boards. If you don't know about Kanban, oh my gosh, we got to talk about Kanban. Super easy. Kanban. Look, you only have a certain amount of work, what's called work in capacity. Like, let's say, for example, I know for me, I can only do 3 tasks a day. Anything more than 3 tasks, I know that's going to be a miserable day. Like, I've budgeted way too much work for me. So, for example, this is a way that you can organize work using the Kanban system. For example, you have Post-it notes, but it's nice to put them up in columns, which represents a stage, the stages of a ticket or stages of a task. It starts off being open. No one owns it. We're just general information. No one's working on it. But then you move it to in progress. Isn't that cool? Well, now in progress, we can see what we're working on. And then we can also see what's been completed when it's completed. Are you sure about this? Yeah, resolve all that. Isn't that nice? So now using the Kanban system, you can visually see. And if I zoom out, and if I'm a manager and I'm budgeting work for my team, and I look at my team's workload, and I'm looking at Bob's workload, I'll be like, yo, Bob, you definitely don't have enough time to get all that task done. Let's assign this to other people. I'm going to move this, and we're going to assign this to Jack, and then we could assign this to Sally. And now I could quickly, as a manager, reallocate resources so that work gets done. And at the end of the week or at the end of the day, no one says, there's not enough hours in the day. No, you just didn't budget your work properly. Budgeting work is much like budgeting your macros. It's also budgeting your finances, and you also have budgeting work. Those are three areas that you're always looking to budget to make sure there's a healthy balance, because you only have so much resources, which is your time. Last thing I want to show you is the templates because, John, this looks great, but I'm not a techie. I don't know how to like build all this. I don't know what list I need. I'm a business owner. Like, where do I get started? Like, how this is, did you build this from scratch? How do I get started? Like, I'm gonna give you a pro tip. And that pro tip is templates. Pro tip, always use templates to shortcut work. And ClickUp has an amazing library of templates. So if you click on new space, so let me go right over here to new space. If I click on that, and then I click on templates. Oh, are we like a kid in a candy store? Because look at these. Do you want to do change management? Do you want to do event planning? Do you want to build a travel agency? Do you want to run a show? Are you a student? Are you running a nonprofit? Do you want to manage your class assignments? I almost sound like a Dr. Seuss character. But look at all this and the different areas that already built templates. So let's take one for example. There's a lot of students. Actually, let's go back because there's one I want to show you for employee onboarding. For example, this is cool because in addition to list, employee onboarding, and including lists, you as a business owner also have all that knowledge in your head. Your team doesn't have all that knowledge. So if your team has to come to you for questions in the middle of a process, you are tied too closely to that process, and you as a business owner need to document in standard operating procedures or a checklist or just a list of step one, step two, step three, so that your team has the knowledge that you have. Once they have the knowledge, they're not going to bug you for questions. The best benefit I had when I introduced this to a business owner was that she went on a 1 week unplugged vacation, and she came back and she said, my team never asked me for questions. It was surreal. It was something that she's never experienced before, of a team that was so autonomous and just as productive and powerful. And all they needed was the right tool. I'm not going to tell you how much more money she's making now, but so check this out. Here we take one list in here, but you can also do documents. So on the left-hand side, yes, you have a list that's tracking all your employees and onboarding them, but what's the process? What's the steps? What's the knowledge? That's where here's how to get started. What's the purpose of this? Here's how to do initial setup, how to use it. Do you need help? But you would have this sort of document filled out for your process. So when you onboard a new employee and they're like, hey, how do we do employee onboarding? You're not sitting there trying to train them. You're like, no, don't worry. Here's a document. It has all the steps, all the information. If it's missing information, you're empowered to update it. And if it's also missing information, I'm also responsible for making sure it's also updated because I'm responsible for the process as the business owner. So that is how we can use ClickUp to manage both our business and our personal life. Isn't that nifty? It's a tool that you can download today, but a lot of these videos and stuff, they show you like highlights and stuff like that, and they go too quick. What I want you to do to move from learning to application to action, or pretty much from learning awareness to immediate action to John, I just watched your video. I now want to implement this for my team. How do we do this yesterday? Glad you asked. Click the link below, and I teach workshops to help teams and businesses level up in their productivity. So this has been a wonderful demo. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you know another business owner, a student, a entrepreneur, or just someone who's struggling to stay organized and they have their notebook, they have their whiteboard, and they're struggling to get their goals done, show them this episode. Share this video with them. And that's how we learn and grow together. I'm here sharing my knowledge of what tools that have benefited my life so that it also could benefit your life. So think of one person today that you could share this with and help them out. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.